Hello, my name is Alex Davidson. I'm with the Hobby Quest, and today I'm going to be showing you the color changing plume trick. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with the red plume here. I'm going to wrap it up in this piece of paper that I have. So I'm just going to wrap that right on up, just like that. There we go. So, what I'm going to ask from the audience is I'm going to ask you to just yell out a color. Just yell out a color. Ooh. There's a lot of people watching this YouTube video. I think there's a lot of different colors being yelled out here. I was mostly just going for one color. Let me see what happens with this, if it just goes with that. So abracadabra, and like that, we're gonna see what happens with, ooh. Well, that's really cool, but that's actually not the effect I was trying to go for. I'm gonna try this again. We're gonna do this a little bit differently. I'm gonna take the yellow one, I'm gonna put it right inside like that. There we are. So this time we're gonna do it a little different. I'm gonna ask you to say your favorite color. Just say it out loud. Now, I'm mostly hearing red from people. There's quite a few different favorite colors going on, but I'm hearing red coming from you guys. So let me try that one. I'm gonna say red and abracadabra, and like that, we have our red plume, like that. And just to show you, there's nothing in the paper. And that is the color changing plume trick. So I'll show you how this works, but first I'm going to show you what we get inside the package, and I think that's going to explain a lot about how this trick works. So we're going to open this up, and inside we get a set of instructions right here, and then we get all of our plumes in here. As you can see, we have 3 pieces in total. There's the bouquet, the yellow plume, and then this is actually a shell. There's no stick on the end of the red one. So that's going to be important. So the first thing I'm going to do is I actually have to make this paper work with the trick. As it comes like this is too big and it doesn't quite work. So for me, what I do is just follow along with what I'm doing here, and it's going to make sense later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in so that there's a little bit of space between the bottom of the paper and the bottom of this. Just a little bit of space there. And I want to cut this so that it comes kind of close to the top of this, but it's still able to cover it. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut it just like this and trim the top off of that. Not only that, but I'm going to make this a bit shorter by about this much. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be made smaller so that it's easier to work with. So you could do it as a giant piece of paper, but it's easier if you cut it out to a size that's about right here. So I'm going to put this off to the side. Now I'm ready to start setting up the trick properly. So what I'm going to do first is I take this, I'm going to take the plume here, the bouquet, and I stick it into the top. Let me find the top here. It's all kind of covered. There we go. Now, it's very important to point out both to yourself and to the kids, we always put it in like this. We never try to put it in the other way. If we bring this in, get the stick to show up there. There it is. And I pull this down. It's very important to not push it back up again, ever. It's very important to keep it like that, or else the feathers will get all, twisted up and it's not going to be good. So this is how the trick actually starts, is with a red and a yellow plume. I think you can see where this is going to go here. So I take this and I say, I'm going to take my red plume, I'm going to wrap it up inside of here. Now you can see where that measurement came from with this. So I'm going to wrap it up just like that, concealing the red feathers. Now, at this point, what you do is you say, I'd like you to just yell out a number. Or not a number, a color. Yell out to the audience, say a color, just any color. And of course, you have a big audience. There's a lot of people who are going to be there, so different people are going to say different colors. Act a little confused by this, like, ooh, I wasn't expecting everyone to yell different colors here. I was expecting the same color. Not sure what that's going to affect this, but let's take a look. So you can say abracadabra, snap your fingers, whatever magic thing you like to do, and you pinch on the paper so that you make sure that that outer shell doesn't move anywhere, and you pull out the bouquet. like so. So there's the bouquet. You can even twirl it around to give it like a better effect so it floofs out. So there we have that. One thing that's important, never point the tube toward the audience. If you do, they might be able to see the red inside of the top of that. So you want to keep this pointed away. So now that we have that, you say, this wasn't really the effect I was going for. I wanted to change to a different color. Let's try that again. So I'm going to take my yellow one, and this time we're going to take this and just push this in, making sure it goes into the red sleeve there. Push that in a little bit until the the stick comes out the bottom. I'm going to pull that, and I'm going to do this really quickly, but right now I'm going to do it slow, where you pull that out until you start seeing the base of that starting to show up. And there it is. I'm seeing that base there. I'm going to stop. But when I'm doing it in the actual performance, I'm going to do it more like this. Putting it inside, and then there we go. So we do it nice and quick. So now that that's in there, I'm going to, ask for what your favorite color is. Now, ask the whole audience. They're going to yell out a whole bunch of colors. I'm going to pretend that I heard red the most. So I'm going to say, I think red was the biggest one that people were saying, so we're going to say red. So here we go. We're going to try to make it red. Abracadabra. There we go. Now I'm going to loosen it, so I'm not pinching it super hard. And I'm just going to pull it straight out like that. And there is my red plume right there. And then for the grand finale, I say, and I can show you this. Inside the paper, there is nothing. Completely empty. And that is the color changing plumes trick. Something I'd like to point out with this is it's very important to not leave these inside of the sleeve. If you leave this, like, let's say you do the trick, everyone's really amazed by it, it's really amazing, you put it back together, and then you leave it like that overnight, and it just stays like this. The next day, you're going to pull this out, and all of this is going to be squished together, and it won't kind of come apart. It won't be all floofy like this. It's not as impressive. When you're storing this, and definitely remember to tell the kids the same thing, you don't want to put this inside, or else it's going to ruin the trick. It's going to ruin the effect a little bit. So always keep these separate. So that's about it for the color changing plume trick.